All right, so this is Ed with Brain MTG, and I'm sitting here with my boy Paul from Centerpiece Collectibles. Go check him out. He's got some interesting info. We are sitting here discussing. I actually brought this up because I disagree with Rudy in his video.
Man, it's game over, man. It's game over. What the fuck are we gonna do now? What are we gonna do?
Maybe we could build a fire, sing a couple of songs, huh? Why don't we try that?
7th edition, he's like, he shows a buyout that he bought from somebody, right? Mind you, this is like 100 cards that he bought from one investor, and people have been talking about 7th edition steadily on YouTube for about 2 years now. So there's been a lot of attention on that.
Yeah.
Old foils have had a lot of attention on them for the past 2 years. So let's put that information aside for now, okay? I want to go back to 7th edition back in the day. Yes, it wasn't that popular of a set, but it was the first set to have an MOL, Magic Online, foil redemption set. Now what these were regular redemption set.
Is it the first ever or the first core set?
It might be the first core set,
Yeah.
but it was very close to the first
It
ever.
was,
Maybe
yeah.
1 or 2 sets before that, but no more. Like,
I
it
think
wasn't
there's-
huge.
I believe there's only 10 sets with old border foils
Yeah,
that come
see,
in MOL.
exactly.
Yeah.
So
Before 8th edition.
anyway, there's very few sets around that. It was very early on. And the thing is, right?
Probably rattle them off. 7th edition, Plane Shift, Scourge, Invasion, Apocalypse, Odyssey.
And when was 7th edition? What year?
2001.
2001. So most of those are coming after.
Yeah.
Yeah. Most of those are
Nemesis.
2003, 2002, that type
Yep.
of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, so
I got close. But...
if that's pretty good. I didn't even know if I was offhand like that. But what I'm saying is, so 7th edition had a print run of booster boxes, right? There were foils in there. But they also had a print run of MOL boxes. MOL full factory sealed sets. Now, when you're dealing with a big printer or any type of production, really, there are minimum run sizes. You're not going to make 50 MOL sets, for 52. You're not going to make 100 MOL sets for 58 people that redeem them. No. You're going to have, I'd say minimum 500. I mean, not many facilities are going to do small runs like that. I would like to say more like a couple thousand, because that's more realistic when you're talking about the world and print runs and how things work out there. You're dealing with your printers and everything. They're not going to print 8 sheets of cards and cut them up just to make a few sets. It's just kind of ridiculous to say that it's at the level of alpha rares. And it's like, it's just that that's such a low number. If you said beta or unlimited, I'd be more inclined to agree. And, there's sets like Urza's Destiny, right? Yeah, it was a little bit more popular over time, but not that earlier. It was, 3 years before 7th, something like that?
Yeah.
And print run estimates for those foil rares, I've seen people, using logic and numbers, but nobody has these print runs. So this is the problem with the speculation and saying these crazy things, is that, the numbers people estimate are 6,800. And from numbers I've seen, it kind of makes sense. You can see where they're coming from, right?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that set didn't have MOLs. So you're saying that even if, I don't know, it just seems kind of ludicrous to assume that just because he said his reasoning was you can't find any out there, go look. And it's like, no, they've been bought out for 2 years straight pretty heavily. Matt Caster Mage, great guy. He loves 7th edition foils. How many subscribers does he have? And he's been mentioning it for 2 years and stuff like that. It's been put out there. So you really think that one representative purchase gives you a grasp of how many actually exist? I don't know. I think it's more responsible to say that they have a very low print run and probably less than 10,000. Just leave it at that.
That's a fair point.
Don't put a number on it like
That's a fair
alpha.
point. You should talk about how MOL sets were distributed.
Oh, yeah. So you had to actually play Magic Online and, open packs in there, which involved either winning or putting in money. And so over time, you'd build up cards. And if you got the full set, and you know how much rarer foils are in packs, it was kind of the same rarity for the foils online. And if you got the whole set, you can burn it on there. Basically, they were kind of actually the original NFTs. Magic Online.
Fair comparison.
And they would burn it. They would kill those. You didn't own those cards anymore, and they'd send you a set. So,
and we're talking 99, 2000, 2001.
Early
so
on.
Not many people doing a lot of things.
Exactly.
Online
So
gaming.
that's a good point too. The numbers aren't going to be huge because, you know, how many people were redeeming it? Maybe 500, maybe 1,000, maybe 2, but still low numbers and not as low as alpha. That's all. That's all I'm saying.
So to your point, I'll counter it a little bit. So I've owned all the MOL sets, and I've actually opened a couple and graded them out. Right?
Crazy.
So I don't think it was ever unless I've never heard it. I don't think it was ever officially discussed how they were printed and built. Right. It's my opinion. I've opened these and I've looked at them. I think they were hand collated by Wizards. So when you were talking about you can't just have a small print run for like the MOL sets. You know, what if they printed the 7th base set, right? Then they printed the foils, and then they had a set of foils set aside to make MOL sets as they were redeemed. You know, that would have kept the rarities.
So yeah, and there's also something to be said for that. Like, you're not going to do 2 separate prints for foils. You're going to make all the sheets like how they used to do it. Used to make foil sheets. You're going to make all those foil sheets all at once. You're not going to do 2 separate runs. It doesn't make sense. You run them all at once.
Yep.
So, but that again goes to the whole thing is nobody actually knows. So to make these claims about how small or large something is not a good idea, because then
again, unrealistic expectations, possibly, right?
Especially when you're a huge channel like Rudy. I mean, look, I'm not saying I don't matter, especially maybe over time, maybe it'll happen. I don't know. I'm not saying what I say here doesn't matter in the long run. I'm just saying that when you start to get out there, you should have a little bit of, I don't know, like kind of censorship when it comes to these types of claims on yourself. Censorship on yourself before you say them, because it's just not a good idea to put out ideas on a massive scale like that, because it can drastically affect the market, sometimes permanently. I've seen Rudy's videos affect the market permanently. That's all I'm saying. Rudy's excellent. What he does is invaluable to our community, especially his information about counterfeits and all this stuff. We couldn't do it without him. I just want that to be known. I watched Rudy since 2016, okay? So, yeah. Anyway, this is Ed with Brain MTG, and this is Paul with Centerpiece Collectibles. Definitely go subscribe to him. He's got some cool stuff, and he's really into not just TCGs, although he loves Magic, obviously. That's how we met. But he does the whole range, and he's got an interesting perspective, especially if you like the market side of things.
Yeah, appreciate that. Thanks, guys.
Definitely. And yeah, if you're gonna go and try and buy any 7th edition foils, please use my TCG Player affiliate link. Check out my Patreon, and otherwise, have a great day. I'll see you soon. Peace.